The gender pay gap is basically the idea where women are being paid less than men in similar roles or professions. So for instance, if a man and a woman is working in the same profession, the wage pay gap can only exist if there is a difference in the income. So if women are getting paid less than men, that is considered the gender pay gap. Normally, when the issue is being raised, there are only two options. You are either convinced that the pay gap does exist, or you might stand on the opposite side and your argument would be that it is considered as a myth. In the past, both men and women were fundamentally different. Women were not allowed to apply for jobs that are dominated by men. They were mostly housewives, being the role of both a wife and a mother, and were expected to take care of their children and husband. Some countries do not even allow women to even get the right for education. This gave women the lack of opportunities to apply for jobs. The gender pay gap issue has been raised since the 19th century when women began to work in men's jobs during World War I while men went to help in the military. They were expected to work in the same job as men, but they got a lower wage, which causes women to demand for equal pay through several movements in the period. The strike in 1918 happened and was a strike for equal pay. Women's groups and trade unions sought to demand for equal pay and equal unemployment benefit as an election issue. After 3 weeks on strike, they returned to work, accepted an increase in women's wages to 92% of what was paid to men. The campaign for equal pay and the passage of the Equal Pay Act in 1970 were implemented, and according to this act, men and women are entitled to equal pay in terms of employment. While women are striving hard to earn equal pay, men found it easy to apply for normal jobs and they would still have a good income. Everyone, no matter who they are, what gender they are, should have equal freedoms, rights, and opportunities. Women would have the right to education the same as men, freedoms to choose their career, and opportunities to apply for top professional careers. Let's look at the first source which revolves around this issue. The article is called Simple Truth About the Gender Pay Gap. The information is posted by an organization called the AAW, and their main focus is advancing equality for women and girls. Let's see what the article is all about. This article shows that women are earning 80% of the total earnings of men. With this part of the source, it does not relate to the topic we are discussing. If most men are working in jobs that are more professional and have higher positions than most women, of course, they would have more income. You wouldn't expect people who are working in full-time in factories to receive the same pay as a CAO. This data is relevant to our topic considering that the data is comparing the income in which men and women are working in the same occupation. Here we can see that women are earning less in every occupation mentioned above. Just an example, women who are working as financial managers are getting paid less than men in the same profession. The second table shows the occupations where most women are working, or we can say female-dominated, and it still shows signs of the pay gap where men are still earning more than women. Now this could be the problem considering that most women are working in these occupations but are still receiving less money. The last two tables shows the 10 occupations with the largest pay gap and the smallest gap for the women, and even though we see that many women are working for these occupations, they are still earning even less than men. Now these occupations are not top professional careers, so people would earn less and have a smaller income. Overall, this source highlights the argument supporting that the gender pay gap does exist by providing evidences and statistics to support their claims. This shows that the gender pay gap issue is still relevant to this day. The second source that we're going to look at is opposing or debunking the idea that the gender pay gap exists. This is the flip side of the issue. The source is written by Karen Agnes Lips, founder and president of the Network and Enlightened Women, also known as NEW. She claimed that most women believe they would get paid 78% on the dollar compared to men just because they are women. They strongly believe that gender-based discrimination will happen in the future when they enter the workforce. Karen, the author, believed that women are being deceived by other women's groups and continues to support the idea. These are some of the groups that she mentioned. She later on proceeds to debunk the idea that women are getting paid 78% for every dollar a man makes. She claims that the statistics doesn't take into account for the choices men and women make. For instance, men can choose to work more hours than women, which will affect their income. Education and years of experience also affects the earnings of both men and women. Of course, she provides a good claim for both sides. If either men or women chose to work for extra hours, having acceptable knowledge, having many years of experience, then they would likely to get paid more. What she failed to address in the article is questioning why there is such a case where most men have more experiences, knowledge, and even choose to work more hours, while it's the opposite when applying to women. But this does not entirely prove that the gender pay gap simply doesn't exist. Had she provided more evidence that could outweigh the claims made by those groups, then she would have built a stronger argument. People who believe in the gender pay gap would not get persuaded that easily given the fact that she only provides one claim.